I think that it's like really concerning. It can get lodged in your dog's throat. They can stop breathing. I think it's a bigger problem than it might seem.
Mackenzie Walzer and her dog Loki love to come down to the Riverstone Dog Park in West Lethbridge to hang out and play. Walzer says she sees people picking out foxtail weeds around different areas of the city, and she's worried for her pooch every time they come into the park as foxtails continue to grow.
But yeah, I hope that the city will look at it and realize that it's bigger than it might seem, and there can be a lot of sick dogs, even stray dogs, stray cats out there that could be getting sick, and I just wish more was done about it.
At first glance, these foxtail weeds don't look like much, but if your dog was to get into them, it could be potentially dangerous or deadly.
If it gets into their nose and it's not noticed right away, it's going to travel to their brains.
According to Lisa Krieger, the owner of Southern Alberta Canine First Aid, the foxtail will continue to move backwards if a dog gets the weed in its mouth or nose.
And we don't notice it right away, they're going to go up into their brains. They could travel up behind the eyes, like any kind of sinuses. So that's going to be a big issue. And then the other one is if they're inhaled through their mouth, it's going to then cause problems with their lungs. It could perforate a lung for them. Really, if it's missed, terrible things that ultimately they will need surgery.
Hiroshi Okubo, the park's operations manager for the city of Lethbridge, says the city received more calls last year for foxtail issues compared to this year.
This year, I think we've had a couple dozen, and some of them are related to concerns with their pets. What we've done in the Parks Department is we try to mow it regularly and try to make sure that it doesn't go to seed. But with our resource or limited resources, we can't necessarily cut it down all the time.
Krieger says there are a few tips to implement if you bring your dog to a park with foxtails. She says to try to avoid throwing balls into areas with the weeds and make sure to check the pads of your dog's feet, fur, and mouth and nose to make sure no foxtails have lodged their way in. For Bridge City News, I'm Micah Quinn.